Permit me to invite for prayers Reverend Titilayo Adewumi and Dr. Adamawa Ikoy. Can we have you for prayers, please? Reverend Titilayo Adewumi and Dr. Adamawa Ikoy.
صلوا على النبي الكريم. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Let us pray. Our Lord and our God, we want to thank you for a beautiful day like this. We want to thank you for the gift of life. We want to thank you once again for gathering us here together. We are at your feet, we say thank you. Lord, we want to pray concerning all the deliberations of today, that it will be beneficial to every one of us in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, I ask that your presence be here to guide us into everything we will do, and that at the end of this session, we will know that indeed your presence has been here, and we will give praise and thanks to your name. Thank you, Father. We hand over this meeting into your hands. Let it come to a beautiful conclusion. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray. And amen.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Ahmadu Marafintri, CON, GSS, RS, our amiable ATM and Fresh Air Governor, the architect of our modern Adamawa State of today and tomorrow, our talk-and-do governor, who is ably represented by Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Professor Khaled Tupoa George Farauta. My Lord, the Chief Judge of Adamawa State, Honorable Justice Hafsat Abdurrahman, who is ably represented by Honorable Christine Mbale, Secretary, Judicial Service Commission, member representing Numan constituency, Demsa constituency, the Adamawa State House Assembly, Honorable Ket Mamuno, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Edgar Amasonde, Jagabangabas, the Head of Service, Pharmacist Isa Arosho MNI, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Principal Special Assistant and Convener, Dr. Victor Dogo, our panelists, Honorable Commissioners here present, advisors, Principal Special Assistants, Senior Special Assistants, the DG Paweka, Chairman of Boards and Commissions, Local Government Chairman here present, and Vice Chairpersons, our Royal Fathers, the district heads, all the youth organizations, especially Youth Clock Engineer Seth Francis, who is the coordinator and convener of the organization, and other well-meaning youth organizations here present. We are gathered here this morning to partake in engagement and interaction with the team Adamawa Health Service and our role in the Nigeria First project, organized by the Office of the Social Mobilization, which is the Principal Special Assistant to the Governor on Social Mobilization, Dr. Victor Dogo. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will have two sessions, the opening session and the panel of discussion session. Aaron Isaac is here to coordinate with me, Without much ado, let me now welcome on board the convener and initiator of this seminar, Dr. Victor Dogo, PhD, now to come and welcome us to this ceremony. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say it is a great privilege to stand before all of you to present this welcome address with a great recognition of the first female deputy governor representing the governor. I would have loved to start going down mentioning so many things that has happened once we mention inclusivity. It is with great honor and enthusiasm that I welcome you to this landmark initiative, the Adamawa Year of Service and the role of women and youth in the Nigeria First Project. Your presence here today reaffirms our collective commitment to service, empowerment, and national progress under the budget of the service year, as declared by His Excellency. This gathering is not just an event. Most of the times when people gather, they see it as just an event that people just gather. But this is the chronicle, this is the climax, this is the point that it is a call for the main essence for which we have leaders. Inclusivity and service has become something that most people have taken as a mild statement. The need for such leadership is more urgent than ever. As we recently saw at the book launch of former President Ibrahim Babangida, the generation of past leaders is aging, whether we like it or not. This reality compels us to build a bridge. When they gathered for that book launch, when you listen to those people that were gathered there, you discover one characteristic, and that is an aging generation. And Nigeria has come to that point that there must be a bridge of this gap that is being created. And if there is ever a time to have that gap bridged, it is now in the history of Nigeria. And that is why the likes of Governor Amadu Umaru Finteri, whom is the main reason why we are gathered today, it's not just a call. It is a desire. If at all we will ever reach the dream of the Nigeria that we want, then it is high time that leaders that bridge the wisdom of these great men that gather as elders with the multitude. I call it multitude because our population of the youth in Adamawa State in Nigeria is massive. And unless a leader who has an understanding that can bridge this group, there is no way we will make a headway in the Nigerian vision. When we started this interactive forum, His Excellency said, no policy in Adamawa State will be made without an interaction with the people, the masses. And that's the right time to clap. And on this podium, he said, everyone should return to service. And I'm glad that the chief of staff was once the head of service. And also seated here, there's no better person that can cast the vision of service than the head of service. So I know that in your heart, you would have a place, not just service, but include the word selfless service. Today, we highlight Governor Fintry's commitment to empowering women and youth, key drivers of our state's transformation. His achievements in this regard are unprecedented. Expanded girl-child education, ensuring increased enrollment and access to quality learning. Historic leadership breakthroughs, including the first female deputy governor. Don't forget, she was also the deputy, she was also the VC as a female. Unmatched gender inclusion, with all 21 local government vice chairpersons. They are seated here as women. You know, I was speaking to one of the activists, and you know what she said? She said, do you know the statistics you have in Adamawa State of inclusivity, of women on the table of governance? That do you know you have not said it to the world? I was shocked. And she was so pleased and glad that this thing is happening in Adamawa State. And don't forget that we also have a female member, a chief whip of the house, which has not happened before. These are all signs that Adamawa State is setting the pace. These milestones are not just symbolic. They are a redefinition of inclusivity in governance, proving that competence and vision, not gender or background, determine leadership. Governor Fintry has moved beyond the rhetoric of action, setting a national example for true equity in leadership, governance. As we engage in today's interactive forum, an industrial session, we are privileged to hear insights from distinguished leaders, including Chief Leonard Nzadon, who is seated here. Dr. Nyalas was supposed to be here, but all of a sudden, right, just as we're preparing, he lost someone. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. Professor Monday, I'm sure he's seated in the hall right now, and Honorable Kate Manumo. And of course, the representative of Dr. Aminu, whom of course is at Hajj right now. Doctor, you'll be coming up very soon amongst them. Thank you very much for that. And I want to say that let us seize this opportunity to reaffirm our dedication to good governance, inclusive policies, national development. This is not just about discussions. It is about transformation. I urge every participant to engage fully, contribute meaningfully, and take the lessons from this seminar beyond these walls. I would like to close by saying this. His Excellency said something. He said his absence physically is nothing as long as he's being represented by the right person, the Deputy Governor. Thank you and welcome to this great event.
Well, we have to actually accept the fact that there's one word that has always been missing in governance, which is inclusivity. And when I met Governor Ahmadu Fintry and discovered that he has that mindset, that no one should be left behind and nothing, no stone unturned. And I started observing his perspective of governance, his angle, his approach of leadership, and his vision for a united nation like Nigeria. I discovered Adamawa State seems to be, I always say this word, should I say too small for such a person. That is my own view. But from his approach, I have seen his ability to unite the people, give them what is their due, and has gotten approval, not just from within Adamawa State, but the nation. So, for that reason, we started this engagement, which was his own decision that nothing should be done without the people being involved, without an integration, without communicating, and without an acceptance line that brings the governed and those governing on the same plane. Also gave birth to the interactive session and seminars in Government House all these years.
Thank you very much for that clip. Your Excellency. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We will now move on to have a cast of service vision, which is going to be done by the head of service of Adamawa State Pharmacies, Isa Shehu Arro MNI. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Professor Electapua George Farauta, standing in for His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Right Honorable Amadou Morifintiri. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am honored to deliver these remarks at the Social Mobilization Interactive Seminar titled Adamawa Year of Service and the Role of Women and Youth in Nigeria First Project. Firstly, I would like to commend the organizers of the event for their tireless efforts in promoting social mobilization and community development, with particular reference to the Principal Special Assistant Social Mobilization for the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. Your dedication in empowering women and youth is truly encouraging. The Adamawa State Year of Service is a groundbreaking initiative that aims to promote volunteerism, community service, and youth development by engaging women and youth in community service and volunteerism. We can foster leadership, skills, teamwork, and civic responsibility. This initiative has the potential to transform our communities, promote social cohesion, and active sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to quickly address the role of women and youth in Nigeria First Project. Women play a vital role and are still playing in our societies, contributing to economic growth and development and environmental sustainability. However, globally, women offer significant women face significant barriers in accessing resources opportunities, and in decision-making process. This cannot be left solely to the government. It is our collective responsibility to promote women empowerment, support women leadership, and address the social and cultural norms that precipitate gender inequality. Youth, on the other hand, are the landscape of our nation, driving innovation, entrepreneurship, and community development. Youth also suffer significant challenges in accessing education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Despite these challenges, the Fresh Air Governor, the Project Master, the Barrier Breaker, and the Talk and Do Governor, Right Honorable Amadou Fintiri, has been giving women and youth their rightful places and the attention they deserve to move the state forward, as the mantra of the government says, no one is left behind and no one is left untouched. The Fresh Air Governor's vision for the civil service, which is the vehicle through which government policies and programs are implemented, should embrace modernization, innovation, and digitization, and do away with old ways of doing things and sharpen their skills in information and technologies. It should not be seen to be politically inclined, but focus on delivering the programs and policies of the government. We must also recognize the critical role faith-based communities, organizations, civil society groups play in promoting social mobilization and community development. In conclusion, the Adamawa State Year of Service and Nigeria Face Priority offer unique opportunities for us to promote social mobilization, empower women and youth, and drive sustainable development. Let us all work together to create or brighten a brighter future for all, a future, and promote justice and equality in all our human endeavors. Thank you, and may God bless Adamawa State and Nigeria in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The moment at this point is to have our keynote speaker. We will run a brief thing about the keynote speaker before we invite him to the podium, please. Can we have you?
Chief Barrister Leonard Dan Zidan is our keynote speaker for today, a distinguished member of the legal community who has exemplified the highest standards of integrity, professionalism, and dedication in his career. With many decades of experience in law, he has not only contributed to the advancement of the legal practice, but has also been a relentless advocate for justice. He has set a benchmark for excellence and innovation in his field. Started his academic journey in 1965 at the LEA Primary School, Numan, proceeded to the Villanova Comprehensive Secondary School, Numan, and finally Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria in 1977 and graduated with LLB Law. He has impacted life in his career journey, Popo State Council, Gongola State Ministry of Justice, 1981. Lecturer, College for Legal Studies, Maiduguri, 1982. Chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Gongola State, 1989. Member, National Executive Committee, MBA, 1988. Member, Gongola State Committee on Privatization, 1990. Chairman, Board of Directors, Bonge Microfinance Bank Nigeria Limited, Numan, 1992. Member, Adamawa State Judicial Service Commission, 1999. National Delegate, National Conference, 2014. Delegate to pre-session of the UPR, United Nations Human Rights Council, 2018. Executive Member, Elders Forum, Adamawa State, 2007 to date. Principal Partner, Law Firm of Zidane, Lowry and Associate, 2015 to date. For his dedication and contribution to his community, he was recognized by his people and was conferred with the chieftaincy title of Tumo Bachama by His Royal Highness Hamam Bachama Reverend Wilberforce Miaogi, deceased in 1990. Beyond his professional achievements, Chief Barrister Leonard Danzidon has been an inspirational leader to the younger generation. He is a community leader, a loving husband, and a devoted father. With a standing ovation, please make welcome our keynote speaker, Chief Barrister Leonard Danzidon.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintri, ably represented by Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Kaletapa Blessing Farauta, the Head of Service, beg your pardon, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Edgar, the Jagaban Gabas of Adamawa, the Head of Service, Pharmacist, Shehu Ardo, the Majority Leader in the Adamawa State House of Assembly, and the only member, female member of the House, Honorable Kate Mamno, our eminent distinguished invitees here, Mrs. Christine Mbale Tarfa Ngubane, several names in one, representing the Chief Judge of Adamawa State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely delighted to be at this meeting. It is a mobilization meeting. I beg your pardon, Dr. Dogo, I beg your pardon. Our main convener and all the planners for this event, headed by Dr. Victor Dogo. Thank you very much for convening this event, and thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here. When I came in, I was wondering what I had got myself into. I looked far older than the people I saw around, and I didn't see my age mates. I see a lot of ladies here. It looks like a ladies' meeting with a few sprinkling of men. Well, this is what the society has become. The ladies are the vanguard of our society. And we pray that the ladies will show us the way forward as a nation, as a people. It is a great honor for me to be at this occasion. I sincerely appreciate the invitation to speak on the crucial subject, using the exemplary leadership of His Excellency, Governor Amadou Umaru Fintri, as a case study. It was President J.F. Kennedy who said, "Do not ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. This is an apt statement for the consideration of our topic. In a similar manner, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Talking to youths who are looking into the future, these are defining questions for us. Nelson Mandela, who is become an avatar when it comes to leadership, spent 27 years in prison. And when he was released, he chose not to revenge, but to unite South Africa. He intentionally, deliberately, willingly, and wholly gave up political power, a thing that is anathema in Africa, after just one term, to a younger generation, so that they could keep the great leadership model going. He demonstrated true leadership, that it is not about self-interest, but it is about selfless service. Here in Nigeria, we've had glimmers of great leadership. General Murtala Mohammed shook Nigeria, for instance, like no other leader did. On the morning of his ascendance to power as the military head of state and commander-in-chief, Chinua Achebe captured this in his trouble with Nigeria. He said the trouble with Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. There is nothing wrong with the Nigerian character. There is nothing wrong with the Nigerian land or climate or water or air or anything else. The Nigerian problem is the unwillingness or inability of its leaders to rise to responsibility, to the challenge of personal example, which are the hallmarks of true leadership. On the morning after Murtala Mohammed seized power in July 1975, public servants in Lagos were found on seat exactly at 7:30 in the morning. Even the go-slow traffic that had defeated every solution and defied every regime vanished overnight from the streets. Why? The new ruler's reputation for ruthlessness was sufficient to transform in the course of only one night the style and habit of Nigeria's unruly capital. The character of one man could establish that quantum change. Behavior was nothing less than miraculous, but it shows that social miracles can happen. We know, alas, that transformation was short-lived. It had begun to fade even before the tragic assassination of Murtala Mohammed. In the final analysis, a leader's no-nonsense reputation might induce a favorable climate, but in order to effect lasting change, it must be followed up with a radical program of social and economic reorganization, or at least a well-considered and consistent agenda of reform, which Nigeria stood and stands in dire need of. I'm not here recommending ruthlessness as a necessary qualification for Nigerian leadership. Quite on the contrary, what I'm saying is that Nigeria is not beyond change. I'm saying that Nigeria can change today if she discovers leaders who have the will, the ability, and the vision. Such people are rare in any time or place. But it is the duty of enlightened citizens, like what we have today here, to lead the way in their discovery and to create an atmosphere conducive to their emergence. If this conscious effort is not made, good leaders, like good money, will be driven out by the bad. End of quote. Today, however, we focus on a man who has defied the odds and prioritized the well-being of his people over political interests, Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri. Selfless service in leadership is the ability to make sacrifices, to remain committed to the common good, and to make decisions that benefit the people, even at personal cost. It is the quality that distinguishes transformational leaders from those merely occupying political positions. Selfless service in leadership is not about titles, positions, or personal wealth. It is about sacrifice, integrity, vision, and unwavering commitment to the people. True leaders prioritize the needs of their citizens over personal ambitions and work tirelessly to uplift the society. Today, we analyze Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri's leadership example to understand how selfless service has shaped his governance and its impact on Adamawa State. Key areas of the selflessness of Governor Ahmadu's service. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri's political journey is one of resilience and purpose. From his time as the Speaker of the Adamawa State House of Assembly to becoming the acting governor in 2014, well, first of all in 2012, then in 2014, and in 2019 and 2023, 4 times governor, and later being elected. And later being elected as the executive governor, his leadership has been characterized by selfless service. I find distinctive that our man of destiny, Governor Fintri, is a man of vision. Vision is the driver of wholesome activities and accomplishments for a state and its people. It is possible to have vision and yet not see. Helen Keller, that great woman who was born deaf and dumb, was asked one day, is there anything worse than blindness? And she said, yes, there is. Is to be able to have eyes and not see. So it is possible to have eyes and not see. To achieve a vision, there must be a process. It is said in private life, set smart goals. Set goals that are specific, that are measurable, that are achievable, that are relevant and reliable, and that are time-bound. This also you've got to do for government. Governor Fintri set out his blueprint in his 11-point agenda during his first term and his 8-point agenda during the second term. The key points in the agenda are 1, security of lives and property, 2, education and capital development, 3, healthcare and human services, 4, transparency and accountability, 5, improved internally generated revenue, 6, rural infrastructure, urban renewal, 7, water supply, 8, agricultural development and food security, 9, youth and women development, 10, commerce and industry, 11, environment and climate change. We are working now on the 8-point agenda. Governor Fintri is, above all else, a master political strategist. As a strategist, he forged a delicate coalition of members of the House of Assembly to become the Speaker and maintain that position against the executive between 2011 and 2015. He maintained this feat throughout that term and engaged the same coalition in the removal of the governor in 2014. His equally deft political moves were seen in 3 major and critical areas. 1, the settlement of salary arrears owed to civil servants. Civil servants had been owed salaries of 2 months by the government between 2012 and 2014, following a labor crisis. This became the subject of religious prayers for redress in churches and mosques. As soon as Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintri became acting governor in 2014, he promptly paid off the outstanding salaries, thus endearing himself to civil servants and by extension the populace. This immediately earned him the popular sobriquet, ATM governor. Build up to 2023 elections. The second incident was more titanic. The APC came into the 2019 elections with a huge war chest and a formidable candidate who had an impressive political track record and had worsted powerful main adversaries to clinch the governorship nomination as the APC candidate. The icing on the cake was the support she had from the government at the center and the personal support of the incumbent president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the time, who personally appealed to stakeholders to ensure that she was returned at the polls. Political analysts concluded that the election was sealed and a done deal, with the challenger having all the aces. However, the master strategist came up with his own ace, his MasterCard. He needed reinforcement of a special elite type. He needed a trailblazer, a formidable woman with a high record of achievement and visibility, a woman of substance, an Amazon, a warrior with a quiet mien but indomitable spirit, a counterforce to a hurricane to counter the advantage of the opponent. It was a masterstroke. Amadou Umaru Fintri drafted Professor Karitapa Farauta, who had a track record of notable achievements, chairperson of the Atsube, Honorable Commissioner in the Ministry of Education, and Vice Chancellor, who had turned around the Adamawa State University from a state of decay to a vibrant academic institution that was beginning to be noticed at the national level as his deputy governorship candidate. Overnight, the maestro broke the bloc support of women for the APC candidate, and the rest, as they say, is history. His finest hour. The last vestiges of the colonial administration and feudalism were the imposed traditional system, which subjugated many nationalities with large populations under alien domination through indirect rule. Except for Fofore Emirate, all the other 6 emirates created by Amadou Umaru Fintri in 2024 were caught in the web of the suffocating system. All attempts to grant autonomy and self-determination in past failed. In 1983, during the stint by Governor Wilberforce Bafta Juta, chiefdoms were created, but dissolved by the administration of Alhaji Bamanga Tukur and buried by the coup d'etat of General Buhari on 31st of December 1983. 2 other attempts were made under Governors Yohana Madaki and Jonah David Jang between 1985 and 1987 to create chiefdoms, but both suffered the same fate. Then entered the emancipator. He worked quietly through his first term and made adequate preparations for the exercise. No stone was left unturned in the process of ensuring a smooth delivery. And then, with lightning speed and strategic appointments of popular candidates as chiefs and emirs, this Gordian knot was broken effortlessly. The slate was clean once again. The joy of the masses was palpable, the euphoria accelerating. A new era had dawned. Amadou Umaru Fintri had accomplished what had hitherto seemed impossible. He had released the majority of people from over half of the state from the stranglehold of feudalism. This was unquestionably his finest hour. Amadou Umaru Fintri has a laser-sharp focus and an uncanny ability to place his finger on the critical issues. He is able to see the central issues in any given situation. He is precise. He is critical. This is central to his success as a chief executive. He listens and strives to understand, and once he does, he acts instantly. He is solution-driven and will not allow himself to be paralyzed by analysis. On one occasion, I wrote a legal opinion for a client in respect of a judgment of the Supreme Court that had polarized the parties. This was the case of the Attorney General of Adamawa State and John Aware. Initially, the governor held the view that was contrary to the legal opinion. However, when he read the opinion, he immediately saw the heart of the decision and drew his own conclusion. Leaders are indeed readers, and Amadou Umaru Fintri reads. He thinks, he welcomes ideas, he presses for solutions. His is a hands-on leadership style, the type that will turn around the fortunes of our country. Amadou Umaru Fintri is a man of peace and great faith. As governor, he refused to allow the state to burn during the most brazen and provocative broad daylight robbery of his electoral mandate in what was unarguably the most disruptive and trying event of his entire political career. He appealed to the citizens for calm and followed the legal process to ensure that the larceny did not stand. When in 2011, he mustered a coalition that sacked the speaker, who was supported by the executive, and became the Speaker of the House of Assembly, policemen sealed off the premises of the House of Assembly for several months. A constitutional crisis was in full bloom. He waited and bided his time. The election tribunal annulled the election of the governor then, and overnight, he became the acting governor. His comment was caught. The governor refused to allow me to take my position as the speaker. God removed him and gave me his position of governor. His Excellency Ahmadu Umaru's leadership is merit-based. He has the remarkable quality to appoint people based on competence rather than tribal or religious affiliations. This has strengthened governance in Adamawa State and created an inclusive administration. He has developed people-centered policies in education, in healthcare, and infrastructure, expanding the road networks, rural electrification, and urban development. This has earned him the most outstanding awards of his tenure as the best performing governor in infrastructural development in 2 years, back-to-back, 2022 and 2023, by two presidents from the opposition political party. He has spent a lot of energy and time and resources on security, and this has been demonstrated in the improved lives of the citizenry. He has committed himself to economic and social development, handling political pressures with integrity, allowing a legacy of service over political gain. He committed himself to selfless, personal selfless service over political gain. He has faced challenges and criticisms. While Governor Fintri has made significant strides in leadership, leadership is not without criticisms. Some common concerns include party loyalty issues. He has been criticized as having rewarded defectors over long-term loyalists. He has been perceived to be temperamental. He has been perceived to hold grudges. And it's been claimed that he does not forget any wrongs done to him. However, the true index of leadership is not perfection. It means acknowledging weaknesses while remaining focused on the goal of serving the people. Governor Fintri is human, but he has demonstrated resilience in the face of these criticisms, proving that leadership is about results, not approval. The outcomes of his self-led leadership have been numerous. Positive outcomes are improved peace and social cohesion, reduced ethnic and religious conflicts, visible infrastructural transformation, better governance and accountability, and etc. The enthronement of meritocracy, lessons for other leaders and citizens. The principles of selfless service are not limited to political leadership. Every citizen, entrepreneur, religious leader, professional can contribute to societal growth by prioritizing service over self-interest. Young leaders and women like us must be encouraged to lead with integrity, to focus on service rather than personal enrichment, to build a legacy that outlives them. Governor Fintri's leadership should serve as a model for others who aspire to lead with purpose. Consolidation and succession. John Maxwell said that success without a successor is ultimately failure. It is therefore the greatest challenge of his distinguished and exceptionally transforming leadership example for Governor Fintri to lead the search and ensure by all legitimate means the emergence of his successor. If, as we heard during the 2023 campaigns, that one aspirant allegedly said that he would pull down all the flyovers in the metropolis Should he be elected as governor, that kind of individual, as a successor, will be a disaster for the state. Metaphorically speaking, Fintri should ensure that a flyover destroyer in any aspect of his laudable achievements does not succeed him. His choice of a successor should be as transparent and objective as he demonstrated in the appointments of the kings and emirs in the 7 newly created chiefdoms, round pegs in round holes. A successor must possess exceptional qualities, not the least of which are vision, bold, intrepid, fearless. A man who will neither succumb to blackmail nor be intimidated by anybody. He must possess a good reputation and must be of impeccable character. Such a person should be marketable. He must fear God, and this must be clearly attested to. He must not be greedy, one that seeks to enrich himself through the control of government levers. He was the one who has demonstrated by his antecedents that he has the interests of the masses at heart. He is one who has had requisite experience in public and private sectors and knows the intricacies of good and bad governance and the tricks that are employed by crooked leaders to drain the public treasury. He must be one who is committed to genuine public treasury, to genuine change, one who is ready to listen to advice, one who is accountable to his constraints, one who is sincere, open-minded, and a man of integrity. Such a person should be detribalized and must work towards inclusivity in faith and ethnicity. As I close, all of you who are at the back, please, as I close, do listen to this. Are we together? What Nigeria needs today are not rulers. What Nigeria needs today are martyrs. And this is how I support this point as I close. Part of Nigeria's leadership challenge is not that people are inclined to look at the politics, Part of Nigeria's leadership challenge is that people are inclined to look at the political players and not the challenges of the game, the seriousness of the business of governance. Aspirants to leadership positions are mostly driven by vain, vaulting ambition than by vision. They look not at the size of the assignment, but at the pedigree of the incumbents and ask themselves, if so-and-so can be governor, why not me? That explains the utter lack of progress in governance today. Leadership for such people is about personal aggrandizement and not about transformation, change, progress, or selfless service. The bane of leadership example today is that people want rulers over a timid, supine, prostrate, and defeated populace, when what is called for is an altruistic, selfless, sacrificial leadership. Nigeria does not need heroes. It does not need rulers. It needs martyrs. I believe our man of destiny, Governor Fintri, when he reached the point that he declared, I will die for Adamawa State if necessary. This is the ultimate leadership commitment and example. Governor Fintri's services to the people, accolades, and endearing sobriquets. ATM governor, fresh air governor, project master, barrier breaker, and perhaps greatest of all, the emancipator. He is resourceful, he is courageous, he is dogged, he is tenacious, he is resilient, he is indefatigable. A real bulldog, and no disrespect intended. He has demonstrated that he is one of the most excellent political players in the country. Adamawa State export him to the nation. I didn't hear you. Adamawa State must exhort him to the nation. This is what was lacking in that riveting and long-awaited memoir of former president, military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, A Journey in Service. In spite of his great services and legacy to the country, Babangida failed abysmally at the most crucial moment, the moment of truth. He knew the truth about the outcome of June 12th election, as he himself confessed in the book, that Abiola won the election clean and fair, but lacked the courage of conviction to stand up for the truth and be counted. He succumbed to blackmail and intimidation. No wonder Abdul Oro, in his review of the book in the magazine Source, called him the coward of the Niger. What a tragic epitaph to an otherwise remarkable life of service. It is gratifying to note that our inimitable man of destiny, Amadou Malfintri, got to this point in December 2024 during the creation of chiefdoms. There were physical traits of assassination. There were divinations. There were incantations. There was sorcery. But he neither blinked nor flinched. History will be kind to him. Mandela's immortal words in his allocutions during his trial and conviction for treason and felony are relevant here. During my lifetime, Mandela said, I have dedicated myself to the struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination, and I've fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony with equal opportunities. It is an ideal for which I hope to live and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal I am prepared to die for. The beauty of it is that a leader who is prepared to die for his people often lives to see his liberation as Mandela did. As I conclude, I challenge every leader, every woman, every youth present here, political, religious, business, community leaders, to embrace selfless service. True service is not about how much wealth you amass, but about the lives you transform and impact. If Nigeria is to rise to its challenges, we must adopt a leadership style that prioritizes the people's needs above personal gain and ambition. John Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Governor Amadou Fintri has shown us the way, a path of selfless service, integrity, and visionary leadership. I hope, it is my hope, that more leaders from this hall will arise and beyond amongst us with the same spirit, leading not for themselves, but for the betterment of society. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we give guest speaker a bigger round of applause and a standing ovation? Thank you. Thank you very much. We are inching closer to the main event. Let me, at this point, take this singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Amadou Umar Fintri, CONGSS RS, who is ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Professor Khalif Tupa George Farauta, for his address. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Thank you very much. The Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, the Honorable Commissioner Information, PAM 6, the Majority Leader, please, you will pardon me. I want the women leaders, when I call you, please stand up so that we can justify the fact that we have inclusivity in this government. Please, our Sister Kate, please, can you stand up? I'm sure of recent, many of us do not also know that gwamna ya bada mace ta zama GM a ATV. Ko akwai da yawan mu da muka sani. Tun aka kafa GTV ko Gongola Television har ya haura ya zama ATV. Ba taɓa mace. Ko an taɓa yi? Ba taba mace ta zama general manager ATV ba. Saboda haka mu san cewa wannan gwamnatin ta mata ce. In the whole of northern Nigeria, we have never had a CJ. Adamawa is trailing that place. Please stand up. Arewa gaba ɗaya fa. Arewa gaba ɗaya. 19 states. Adamawa is taking the lead to get the first female CJ. In Adamawa State and in many northern and in many Nigerian states, Adamawa is taking the lead of having its entire 21 local government areas serving vice chairmen that are women. Kutashi at kuna nan. In the whole of the Northeast, Adamawa has the female deputy governor. I will call all the youth that are here, kai matashi ne, ko mace ko namiji ku tashi ku tsaya. Wanda kuna aiki a wannan gwamnatin, ko kuma kuna tare da mu daga ƙauyukanku, ku tashi ku tsaya matasa. A yi masu tafi. Why are you asking Babikwe? He's a youth. Why are you querying him? Babikwe is a youth. Thank you very much. Please, you can take your seats. All our advisors of different categories, the Paweka leader, Dr. Mike, ladies and gentlemen, and men of the press, good afternoon. I stand here to represent my principal, Right Honorable Amadou Morufintri, who is unavoidably absent. He sends me with a message. When this year's budget was being processed, it came to the ESCO, it went to the House of Assembly, it passed through a lot of committees, and it was agreed that this year's budget will be a budget of service. One thing the governor made all of us to understand is that whatever struggles we have gone through, whatever efforts we have put in, the topping and the icing of the cake is to serve our people. That no matter what we do, unless we serve our people, then we have not led them. And I want to thank God for the keynote speaker, my elder brother, who just gave an X-ray of what it means. I want to agree with him to the fact that Governor Amadou Fintri knows the way, he's leading the way, he's going the way with us. And he calls for us to show this example at our different points of leadership. If you are a vice chairman or an advisor at your office or in your community, it is expected that the service the governor is delivering at the state level, you are the governor in that community, that you will also deliver service at that level so that governance will be made seamless from the state level to the local level. Governor Amadou Fintri has shown us that for you to be a leader, you must be bold in taking decisions. Are you a vice chairman? Are you a councillor? Are you an advisor? It means in the position where you are, you must be bold in taking the right decisions. And the right decisions means serving the people. if they were looking for women who know the way or who are politically inclined, maybe I would not be here. But wherever we find ourselves, as long as God has allowed us to come up to points and positions of leadership, leadership means being bold. It means taking decisions on behalf of your people without being sentimental. Wannan babace ne, wannan lunguda ne, wannan bafulatani ne, wannan kilba ne, wannan dukka bai taimake mu ba duk shekarun da suka wuce. Kuma ba za su taimake mu ba shekaru na gaba. Governor Fintri is one man that picks people because of the value they will add to what is being done at that moment. And if he has brought all of us to the positions where we are occupying today, he expects that we will replicate what is done at the state level by bringing people based on merit and not on sentiments, so that Adamawa State will have a better leadership from the state level to the local level. He has shown us that he's a man of integrity. For a lot of us, once we come into leadership position, our pockets, our immediate families, and our own benefits seem to becloud us to the level that serving other people or allowing the goodies to reach other people becomes an issue. But I can stand here and boldly tell us that Governor Ahmadu Fintri, who is our boss and our leader, our principal, is a man that insists that we must serve people without looking at any sentiment. I also bring us a message to let us know that the person who is leading the way, whom we are following politically in this state, is also a man of resilience. Whatever the winds, whatever the storms, whatever the words and the abuses that come, as long as he knows that what he is doing will benefit the common man, he is focused on doing that particular thing. So I plead with us on behalf of the governor, as leaders in our different positions, we must go back and be focused to ensure that we bring governance very close to our people. To represent the governor, to be focused in undertaking projects and doing things that will help people to see Governor Fintri in you and in me in our local environments. The women and the youth have been represented in several governments. But this is one government where youth and women have come in to take their rightful stand in governance. Therefore, I will plead with the women as a woman. As a woman, once you have your skill and you know your skill, you will be sought for wherever you are. So ensure that you don't idle sit. You develop yourself to the level that when the men are taking decisions and they desire someone with a skill, they know that you have that skill and they cannot do without you. So develop yourself as a woman. That is what I'm emphasizing. Mata, gwamnati nan ta bamu inda za mu zauna domin mu ma mu taimaka a cikin ayyuka da shawarwari da ake yi. Amma sai mace ta kama kai. Sai mace ta zama wanda kina da amfani in maza suka kawo ki tsakaninsu. In ana shawara ana neman wace ce ko wane ne zai iya wannan aiki. Sai a duba gaba ɗaya babu mai wancan sanin, sai ke babu yadda suka iya. Dole za su kawo ki mace. Amma in mace ta zama ba abin da za ki kawo, ba abin da za ki kara, ba za ki gyara abu ba sai dai ki bata. Babu yadda maza za su zauna suna shawara sunanki ya taso a wurin. Ba batun a kawo mu mata kawai a zaunar da mu bane. Maza na tambayar mu in muka kawo matan me za su kara akan abin da muke yi. Yanzu dai gashi turin mata muna cikin gwamnati. Kina vice chairman, kullum kina faɗa da chairman ɗinki. Kin ga gobe dai aka fara tambaya, akwai mace a local government ɗinku da za ta iya siya member, kila za a tsoraci kiran sunanki domin an baki vice chairman kawai. Kin addabi mutane da faɗa. Saboda haka mata ina roko, shi yasa na canza da wannan yaren, ba na duniya duk ba, ni da ku ne. Mata ina rokanmu, duk inda gwamnati ta bamu ko gwamna ya bamu muke zama muna zama a madadin mata ne. Mu tuna cewa mata da yawa suna bayanmu suna kallon abin da muke yi. Ba wurin talla ba ne. Ba inda kuma wurin da za a yi abin da bai cancanci a ce mace ta yi a tsakanin mutane ba. Saboda haka rokona shine mata, inda duk Allah ya sa muka samu muna tsugunawa a tsakanin mazan nan, mu rike kai, mu kama kai, mu yi abin da zai kawo mana cin gaba da sauran matan. I also want to plead on behalf of the youth. Now I can talk in this language. I plead as a mother that our use of social media as youth, every day Governor Fintri mentions it. We have a great space of influence that we can use, one, to showcase what this government is doing, and two, to help other youth to be law-abiding. Please ensure that what you post, when they wake you from sleep, you can defend it. Ensure that what you write on your social media postings, after 10 years, when they call you, you will defend it. Whatever you are posting and reposting to groups and to people, be sure that when anybody that is indicted in what you have written takes you to court for being part of the people that have posted and reposted that particular write-up, that you can defend it. So I plead with the youth. As a government, there are so many good projects this government is doing. Instead of posting and reposting write-ups that you cannot defend, please post the things this government is doing that are evidential, that when you post and people wake you from the sleep, you can carry them to the flyover and show them, and they know that you are not lying. In closing, I want to thank all of us for showcasing what this governor and this government are doing. And I want to plead with us that this year is a year of service. And service means placing others and placing their interest above yourself and above your interest. So in the year 2025, the focus of this government and the people of Adamawa State should be that my neighbor is served better than myself. My next brother is served better than myself. And I will do all it takes to serve my brother and to serve my neighbor so that I can have a better Adamawa State. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is where I've concluded my own session. I'll be handing over to Aaron Isaac now to continue. Aaron.
Once again, a very good afternoon, a good morning to every one of us. We are most grateful for your presence, and we are thankful for honoring our invitation. Many thanks to the executive governor, who spoke the deputy governor, I beg your pardon, who spoke frankly about the women and the youth. And to be more candid, is the fact that Adamawa indeed is a state that is actually giving opportunities to women, and this government must be acknowledged for doing that. I would like to sincerely crave our indulgence with the approval of the deputy governor to bridge the program. We're going to skew the program a little bit to allow the deputy governor attend to other functions. And so we would be taking the awards presentation. We would be taking the awards presentation. And the award presentation is in recognition of selfless service and contribution to state development and national development. And these persons have done exceedingly well in their various fields of endeavor. And so if the media team is ready, we would begin the presentation of the award. Please, if the media team is ready and the ushers are ready also, let's get the awards ready so that we can do the presentation right away. And I would also like to crave the indulgence of the youth o'clock to please give us a little moment to do this presentation, after which we'll do your inauguration. Please, we crave your indulgence also. So we'd like to invite the deputy governor, the first female deputy governor, a professor in Northeast Nigeria. And our appointment, our election rather, has paved way for so many other women to become the first in Adamawa State. The first female chief judge, not just in Adamawa State, in Northeast Nigeria. The one and only female member in the Adamawa State House of Assembly, Honorable Kate Mamunu. The first DG or GM of Adamawa Broadcasting Television, Mrs. Charity. So we will begin the award presentation. The first award goes to Her Excellency Hajia Lamin Amadu Umaru Fintri. The Commissioner for Information, please. Media, please, we have to skip the citation, please. Our next recipient, who is also represented here, is the Honorable Justice Hafsat Abdurrahman, the Chief Judge of Adamawa State. She is ably represented here this morning. While she is receiving that award, we would like to call on the Honorable Member representing DEMSA, Honorable Kate Raymond Mamuno. She is the Majority Leader, Adamawa State House of Assembly, and the only female member, Adamawa State House of Assembly. While she's receiving that, I would like to call on Dr. Michael Zira. Dr. Michael Zira is the Director General, PAWECA. If you want to be empowered, that is the man to be empowered. All right, next to him, we have Honorable Idris Yahaya. He is the chairman of some local government area. Honorable Idris Yahaya. Is Honorable Idris here, or we're having a representative for him? Honorable Idris Yahaya, Chairman, Song Local Government Area, Secretary Algon, Adamawa State. Sequel to that, Mrs. Galaxy Tammy. The next recipient is Mrs. Galaxy Tammy. She is the chairperson, Women-Led NGOs, Adamawa State, as well as Executive Director, Hope and Rural Aid Foundation, ARAF. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Honorable Abdurrahman Boboy. He is the Special Advisor, Political. That man is an embodiment of knowledge. He has, worked in so many instances. Congratulations, sir. Still in recognition of their meritorious services, we have Barrister Gabriel Adiku. If Barrister Adiku is here or represented, we would like for that person to come up stage. Let's just move on. We also have Mr. Foya Puja. Mr. Foya Puja is a data processing officer at the Government House, Yola. This is a workaholic. Oh. He looks slow, but he's a workaholic. And lastly, to allow Her Excellency to have a rest, we're presenting the last award to Mr. Christopher Tomangiono, Chairman, Social Political Groups. Congratulations to all the award recipients. Congratulations. And thank you very much, Ma, for the honor done. Thank you so very much. All right, media, can we have the national anthem, please? After the national anthem, there's going to... Please, there should be a group photograph, briefly, if Her Excellency would permit, up here with the Chief of Staff to the Government House, Yola. A group photograph, please. Her Excellency is just taking a leave. The program continues. So please, all members of the high table to please come up stage with a group photograph with Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor. All members of the high table, please. All members of the high table, you can join Her Excellency for the photograph. We are not done with the program yet, please. Her Excellency have other engagement. That's why she is exiting. She's leaving us. So we'll continue the program immediately afterwards. Youth O'Clock, please be on the standby. Youth O'Clock, please be on the standby. Barrister Kennedy Jaffet, please, I would like for you to come up stage. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We are most grateful. the program continues. So, we are moving into the next item right about now. We're going to invite a National Coordinator of the Youth O'Clock Advancement Association, Engineer Seth Francis. He is the National Coordinator of the Youth O'Clock Advancement Association. And he is going to do the inauguration of the Adamawa chapter. And we have the following officials. Honorable Ben Solomon, he is the State Coordinator. Honorable Victor Dogo, PhD, is National Delegate. Hajia Sakina Paris, Deputy Coordinator. Mr. Nu Abel, Secretary. Please, I'll need for us to do this on time. Please, let's step out. Mrs. Ruth Anderson Puna is the Treasurer. Honorable John Anthony, Coordinator for Persons Living with Disability. Mr. Tilo Eze Maxwell, Youth Leader. Malam Abubakar Gambo Jika, he is the Organizing Secretary. Barrister Kennedy Jaffet, Legal Advisor. Honorable Philip Barnabas, Head of Finance. Alagiat N. Baba, Head of Contact and Mobilization. Senator Ben Wycliffe, Head of Media and Publicity. Malam Idris Assad, Media 2. Yasir Usman Bada, PRO 2. Oh, Nasir Kasimu, PR 1. Yasir Usman Bada, PR 2. Honorable Faith Samuel, Head of Advocacy. Mr. Emmanuel Moses, Coordinator of Sports. Comrade Shehu Johanna, Coordinator of Education. Malam Aliu Adamu, Coordinator of Health. And Mr. Emmanuel John, Head of Art, Culture, and Creativity. National Coordinator and the Barrister.
Thank you very much. I bring greetings from Youth O'Clock Nigeria National, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmed Finturi, the Deputy Governor, riding on the earlier mentioned protocol. Thank you very much, Adama. I'm happy to be here. Youth O'Clock Nigeria, it's a movement working towards empowering young people, not just to take over, but to be self-aware of who a young person is. If you're talking about 70% of Nigerians are young people, then the question is, what are we doing as young people? Why are we in the same position we have always been? Looking at Nigeria as a place, as a country, we feel one of the first things we can do for our nation, like the guest speaker said, we are not just looking for rulers, we are looking for martyrs. We are looking for leaders that can stay and stand and say, this is our country, irrespective of religion, irrespective of tribe. We want to share one identity, who we are Nigerians. Where are we going? We are in Nigeria. That is why we are taking this campaign across the country. We have Youth O'Clock in the 36 states of this country and the FCT. And the main target is to raise 10 million Nigerians to believe in one cause, and that cause is rebuilding the broken walls of this country. And in Adamawa State, what we are doing here today is to set before you the people that are going to be driving, piloting this ship. We are not stopping. We are not rebels. We are people, we are genuine people who are ready to take the mantle of recovering the lost glory of this country. So I welcome you all this morning as the inauguration process takes on. I'll be handing over the mic to the person coordinating the inauguration. But to the newly executives, we want to charge you to be transparent, be honest, be credible. We don't respect any young person to live like the people we are trying to correct. We want to take a good example. We want to lead by example. And please, I beg you, if I need to go on my knees, I will. We need change makers. And from you, we want to see the youth of Adamawa State appreciating the dividend of democracy. I'm happy what I heard this morning about Adamawa State. I've never heard that before. But I think such kind of a program is something that should be happening across the country, because we need to be able to sell what we are doing and how we are doing it so that the people coming behind will take lead from that. Thank you very much and welcome on board.
All right, thank you very much. That's the national coordinator, Engineer Seth. And so we'll go straight into oath taking, and that is going to be done by the barrister who is standing next to me.
The national coordinator, Youth O'Clock Movement, the honorable member representing Demsa constituency, Honorable Kate Mamuno, who doubles as the majority leader of the House, my own learned juggernaut and enthusiast in the profession, Chief Eldi Zadon, members of the high table, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Moving straight to the inauguration and the taking of oath, I will say it and you repeat after me. If I say I, you are to mention your name after the I. For the oath of allegiance, I do hereby solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. Move to the next page. Now to the oath of office. I do hereby solemnly affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Youth O'Clock Advancement Movement, that as the, you call your office, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Association and the law, and always in the interest of sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being, and prosperity of the Youth O'Clock Advancement Movement. That I will strive to preserve the aims and objectives of the association as contained in the Constitution. That I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct. or my official decisions, that I will, to my best of ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Youth O'Clock Advancement Movement, that I will abide by the code of conduct contained in the Constitution in all circumstances, and I will do right to all manner of people according to law, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations to the newly inaugurated ESCO of Youth O'Clock Advancement Movement. I hope we'll do that. We'll do well to help in the advancement of this group for the betterment of Nigeria. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. Once again, I would like to thank everyone seated here today. Though the Deputy Governor is taking a leave, the program continues. I will be going into the panel discussion. But before we do that, belay dancers are here to thrill us. That all work without play make Jack a dull boy. Belay dancers, are you here? Belay dancers, please, would like to see you upstage. Belay dancers, would like to see you upstage. Media, is their tune ready? Media, is the tune ready? All right. All right. Belay dancers, thank you so very much. Belay dancers, thank you so very much. All right, belly dancers, we are grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're most grateful. Most grateful. Thank you so very much, belay dancers. Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy. I never knew you could dance like that. And Honorable Kate, I never knew you also have the groove like that also. All right, thank you so very much. All work without play make Jack a dull boy. We are going into the panel discussion, and we have the following panel members. Some of them ably represented here today. We have a slide to usher in the panel discussant.
Justice Hafsa Abdurrahman. Honorable Justice Hafsa Abdurrahman, Chief Judge of Adamawa State, is a consummate judge who rose through the ranks with unblemished records in her years of service and suspended judgments to her belt, making history as the first female chief judge in the history of Adamawa State and northern Nigeria. Dr. Almaude Jibril Gabo. Dr. Almaude Jibril Gabo is a distinguished scholar, researcher, and community leader whose contribution to the field of accounting and higher education have left an indelible mark. Honorable Kate Raymond Malo. Honorable Chief Kate Raymond Malo, the member of Adamawa State House of Assembly representing the constituency, serving as the majority leader in the Adamawa State House of Assembly. Mrs. Dorothy Tommy is a woman of many parts, a mother, a leader, and a humanitarian worker, making giant strides in her chosen profession of touching lives beyond the scope of her education, skills, and training. With a standing ovation, please make welcome our panelists for today.
Let's encourage them, please. That is not enough. A round of applause for these panelists, please. Mutapa Musumana. One name that is slightly omitted is that of Dr. Elisha Bello. Dr. Elisha Bello is representing, or is taking the slot of Dr. Aminu Ismail Numan. Dr. Elisha, thank you so very much for joining us on the panel. Do we have the second microphone ready? Okay, thank you. Panelists, thank you for joining me on this platform. It's a huge honor to have you join me here today. And I am most grateful that we are talking about the year of service. But for this purpose, we would be speaking on assessing opportunities for women and youth within the Nigeria First Vision, pioneered in Adamawa State. That is what we'll be talking about. Our focus is primarily on women and youth. The Honorable Chief Judge of Adamawa State is ably represented here today on the panel by Honorable Christy Mbale. She is the Secretary, Judicial Service Commission, Adamawa State. Thank you so very much, Ma, for being a part of us. And so that will lead me to begin with you. A lot appears to be happening here in Adamawa State, particularly something that borders around the corridor of women participation in governance. In 30 seconds, tell me how excited you are that women are almost taking the front row seat in governance and participation in governance here in Adamawa State, setting precedents across Nigeria.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Dung Allah mu yi hakuri, please, please. Ku zauna, mu yi hakuri, za mu gama yanzu nan. Please go ahead.
All protocol duly observed. Well, I want to start from my own jurisdiction, which is the judiciary. As we have heard, and as we all know, and as we are all seeing, for the first time in the judiciary, we're having a first female chief judge who doubles as the chief judge of Adamawa State and also the chairman, Judicial Service Commission. And in the judiciary, honestly, we've not had it this good.
Okay.
Because it's the first time that we're having it, that a female is leading the judiciary of Adamawa State. And so far, so good. The journey has been so good. And we did not have it on our own. Just as we have been echoing it and we have been saying it, the executive governor of Adamawa State, he has given us all the support that we need. All the support, and from what is going on in the judiciary, there are so many reforms that are taking place. There are a lot of renovations that are going on. And actually, it's beyond rhetoric because we are seeing it is in action.
Okay.
So we are seeing the reforms that are going on. A lot of renovation is being carried out. And for a very long time, the judiciary has been on one spot.
Okay.
But we thank God for His Excellency. There's a lot of renovation, a lot of construction, and even when it comes to training of judges, at least we're a state that is leading because our attendance is overwhelming.
Okay.
So when we go to other states, and it has to do with his passion and with his vision.
Okay.
Because if we don't attend such trainings, of course, we are not going to give our maximum performance.
Okay, just a minute. Dung Allah, ina roƙon mu da Allah. Wanda suka kafa zaure a bayan can, dung Allah, ku yi hakuri. Ku dan ba mu dan minti kaɗan za mu gama wannan. Please, na roƙe ku da Allah. Mun san ana azumi, za mu tashi nan ba da jimawa ba, ku yi hakuri. Kowa ya nema wuri ya zauna a ɗan yi shiru ko a saurare me ana faɗa nan. Na roƙe mu da Allah. Thank you very much. Honorable Christy, thank you so very much. Can you pass the mic to Associate Professor Jibril El Maude? Doctor, in retrospect, I want you to speak to us in 30 seconds. What you see that is changing the narrative here in Adamawa State, occasioned by the good quality leadership style of the executive governor of Adamawa State. How this is a model to copy.
Thank you very much. I think there are a lot of challenges we can see. First and foremost, the physical one that we can see, I think that has to do with the capital structure wherever you go. From my house to my school, I fly over 3 bridges. I think it's a good one. Though we may not see the benefit of what we are doing today, but the future we are going to see. Again, as somebody who is from education sector, I have close rapport with Adamawa State University. I also know the human capital development. What we want in Nigeria today is 2 things: the physical structure you see and the human capital development. And these things are clearly green. Wherever you go, you see them. Primary schools are there, secondary schools are blooming, everything is perfectly going well. I think it's a good plus to the executive governor of Adamawa State.
I'm going to come back to you to the issue of human capital, but let me just feel the pulse of Honorable Kate Mamuno. She is a solid pillar in that house, the only female member in the House of Assembly. That is, it's not a mean feat, to be very, very frank. You're representing the legislature here on this particular panel. Speak to us on how crucial the relationship has been between the executive, because we have 3 arms of government: the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. The judiciary is also represented here today. Talk to us about how the relationship has been, particularly between the executive and the legislature, that is propelling change within the wheel of governance in Adamawa State.
Well, thank you so very much. The relationship between executive and the legislative, in fact, invariably and the judiciary, because we are interwoven. And I want to tell you that we have a very cordial relationship. When it comes to sponsoring of bills and assenting it into law, you know, His Excellency, he doesn't hesitate in making sure that he assents those bills into law, particularly laws that pertains to women and girls. Is it the VAP law, Violence Against Persons Prohibition bill? Is it the Child's Right Act? Is it the National Health Insurance Scheme? So many laws, so many bills that we have sponsored in the House of Assembly. This goes on to tell you that we have a smooth relationship. But let me quickly say it here, that it is not as if we are stamp robbers. No, 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 no.
So you're not rubber stamp?
Stamp or rubber stamps. We are not stooge, so to say, but we are working towards the betterment of Adamawa State and the citizens of Adamawa State. Thank you.
But how does it feel being the sole female member in the Adamawa State House? How do you face them?
To me, to some extent, let me say it's an achievement. I will not hesitate to say that one. But to the women folk in Adamawa State, we are lagging behind. And that does not mean that we cannot achieve it. You see, there are difficult areas in Adamawa State that are very, very difficult to assess by women. But you see, in the Adamawa State House Assembly, we are 25, and I'm the lone voice in the State House of Assembly. It is not easy, but I bet you it is a very cordial relationship with the men. I have their support. I have their backing when it comes to sponsoring of bills and motions. Thank you.
We're going to get to how we can make it better, but
Yeah,
you can pass the
thank
mic
you
to Mrs. Galaxy.
I thought I would hire a round of applause. Clap for me now.
Clap for her, please. As the only female member in Adamawa State House of Assembly, out of 25, she is the only one there. Mrs. Tammy, Galaxy Tammy, let's get back to you. Haven't listened to her and haven't listened to Honorable Christie, two persons coming from that same gender that has been advocating for the space to fully manifest what they have. And it's a good thing that you're coming from that constituency that is championing the cause for equity within the system. Talk to me about what you see that interests you the most about what Adamawa is doing differently.
Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues and my co-panelists. The women inclusion in Adamawa State cannot be overemphasized. It's a distinctive leadership of our fresh governor, and for him to appoint the 21 local government of Adamawa State to be all women is a great achievement. And also, like my auntie and mentors rightly said, we're also advocating, now that we have the space, like our mother, our mentor, Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor, rightly said, it's not us to be there to be bench warmers or to be pulling one another. I also urge that these women should build their capacity so they can really impact their local communities at the grassroots. And in fact, it is a great achievement, like I said earlier. Women in this government, in this system, have occupied appointments, positions. They are doing good. They are doing well. And also, I also urge that we should have the habit of developing ourselves. Self-development is a skill. You will develop so that next time, like she rightly said, that if you don't develop yourself, you don't bring something different from to the table, next time they will not appoint you to be either higher. Like our sister she's the only one at the House of Assembly. We pray for more of those women at the grassroots. Let's leverage on the seat we are occupying in our local governments to come up hither, to come and meet. And also we say that if a woman goes up, she should not push the ladder away. Use your hand, stretch our auntie and pull your fellow woman so that she can come to where we are. And as we occupy those political seats, we can advocate for our issues that pertains onto us only. Okay. It's only we that knows where it pinches as women. So the clarion call here is that women should have developed yourself, have skills, boldness to talk, love yourself. Don't be women pulling down women. No, be that women are bringing up women. All women right. Building their loving their own women counterpart, okay. And also women building our capacity, so that we will not only be end. We say after governor has left, or his tenure has come to an end, and that's the end of us being in those political seats in our various communities.
All right,
we don't pray for
we'll
that.
be talking about sustainability, but a round of applause for her, please. Let's pass the mic to Dr. Elisha. Dr. Elisha, you'll be speaking from the corridor of the young persons in Adamawa State. Of course, the executive governor of Adamawa State is a young man. And this is somebody who came to the corridor of power at a very young age. And that is exactly what we're looking for. Now, talk to me about what you see His Excellency doing in pulling into governance young persons, assigning them responsibility that is serving as a role model for other states to emulate.
All right, thank you. I will not waste time. I want to thank my elders here. I'm the youngest person here. One thing I will mention, and I want every young man to listen, no matter how skillful you are, and no matter how educated or you think you have a lot of experience, without an enabling environment, you will not be able to maximize those things that you have, the skills, the experience, even the potentials. One thing that I will give it to to the governor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri, is the enabling environment that he created to the youth in the state. Compare with the previous administration, I ran my statistic of which I can share it with anybody. You will see that young people have a sense of belonging from 2019 to this very moment, to the extent that it gives them a kind of sense to think creatively. You can see the business expansion among the young people because of the enabling environment that the government or the governor initiated. And the appointment of young people, I bet you if you do not start from small and you start from big, you will crash. You will come back and pay the price of you not following the due process. He has appointed them to serve as aides so that they will see what he's doing, giving them room also to advise him on certain things and also criticize, which is good for me. He has created that enabling environment and by giving them appointment. The second thing, he understands that about 63% of the Adamawa State population is youth. So what he did, he now created an initiative like this, leading the call by my elder brother, Dr. Dogo, creating mobilization. Because if you do not sell out what you are doing, nobody will know what you are doing. So these three things have given him a very good one, and also the empowerment initiative that he has rendered to the youth in the state.
Still hold on to the microphone. A round of applause for him, please. Hold on to the microphone. Talk to me about the aspect of sustainability. Because Madam mentioned, if His Excellency exits, and we know that he has done a bit of recruitment, that recruitment process has taken place. Mentorship is ongoing because he's grooming these young persons into leadership position. We have to question sustainability. If he exits, what happened? Do you feel convinced that this can be sustained within Adamawa State and beyond?
Of course. As an ardent follower of a good governance and an ardent follower of what the governor is doing, I bet you with what I've studied over the years, for the past 5 years, I can tell you that he has rooted sustainability in all aspects of what he's doing. That's to tell you, if today a young man has been appointed to lead a very critical sector in the state, because of the capacity the governor has built in these young people, they will succeed. I want to give you an example. Before now, statistics shows that we are lag behind according to UNESCO when it comes to issue of ICT. We are left behind. We are almost about 17% in the entire northern state, despite the fact that we have graduates that study a very good courses that will enable us to be at the helm of the affairs of ICT in northern Nigeria. But the 3 trainings that he invited some expert to come and build the capacity of young people free of charge. Today we have like 17 startups that are coming up in Adamawa State as a result of that. And they are becoming leader in the ICT sector. That's sustainability. Even if the governor is not around, the young people will be able to sustain us in that area. Then, looking at the other aspect, when you say sustainability, the vice chairman that I hear, all of them are women. Prior to now, they did not have any political position that they can beat their chest to say that they will do something to their people. If you ask them, give them the mic, tomorrow they will say they will contest for the chairmanship of their local government. That is sustainability. Let's come back to the other aspect. When you are talking about judiciary, today, the Chief Justice of Adamawa State, I bet you there are young female lawyers that they will beat their chest today. Nobody will tarnish our career because we have a role model. He has placed a sustainability in the judiciary. And when we come to education, like rightfully Associate Prof said, one of the key things to give to the young people is a very good education that will compete with their global counterparts, not only in the country. And we have it in Adamawa. I can set myself as an example. I got my PhD at 35 years. So I can tell you we have many of us that we can do better and we can transform this state because the governor is listening to the young people. Governor is listening to the young people, so there's sustainability. Thank you.
Now, do you feel convinced? A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause. Now, do you feel convinced beyond reasonable doubt that what we see happening in Adamawa State is a good model that should be emulated across the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja?
Yes, I can tell you I have attended several fora that has to do with international delegate. December, I lauded my state because all the references of the data I was given at the Nigerian Army Resource Center when it converged all the West African youth talking about security and economy. I'm one of the key speakers. I said, if you want to see the drastical shifting of mindset that reduce security in my state, come to Adamawa State. I bet all northern states to come and replicate the model of Adamawa State so that we can reduce insecurity.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Elisha.
Thank
please. You. A round of applause for him, please. Let me go over to, I will come to you, Honorable Christie, but let me just feel the pulse of Mrs. Galaxy. Talk to me. I felt the hall was electrifying when it was mentioned that across the 21 local government areas of Adamawa State, we have women occupying the position of vice chairman. You never have this anywhere across Nigeria. Yeah. How exciting is this? And what do you think we can do to up the game from here?
We can do to?
To up the game, to improve.
Okay, to improve. Like I said earlier, we need mentorship, training and retraining, seminars upon seminars for these women at the grassroots of the local government. We need training and retraining, mentorship. The women, our deputy vice chairman at the grassroots, we should avail ourselves. We should look for mentorship. People like our auntie here up here, Honorable Kate Mamno, let's reach out to her. And also even the men too, we can reach out to them for mentorship. Political, how to position yourself politically, good character and what have you. So we need mentorship and training. And by so doing, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Aaron, we are going to scale up, we are going to jump the ladder by the grace of God.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, while we clap for her, I would need for you to ponder on this also.
Yeah.
You work in that humanitarian sector. What are the gaps that you've been able to identify, and how volatile are these gaps if left unattended to in terms of women participation?
Yeah, as women in the humanitarian sector, you know, we are the humanitarian actors, we are of a bit, we are soft. We're not like politicians. We don't really push. But of course, we train. We train the upcoming NGOs women. We train them, we mentor them. In fact, categorically, I can say in my office, there's a space 2 times in a week. I identify those upcoming NGOs in Adamawa State to come and bring their profiles and see whereby it's not correct, to change and transform their profiles, teach them how do you start, where do you start from, and also educate them that in a humanitarian setting, we don't go for money. We are careful to impact lives. We are there to impact lives, to reach the vulnerable community, vulnerable people in our vulnerable community. So it's still mentorship, actually. And I'm telling you, the women in Adamawa State, in NGO, the women in NGO level, they are doing a lot. They are impacted. I wish they are here. They are having a meeting somewhere. They're not here. They would have said something. If you're given chance to say, they could have said something about what we are doing in Adamawa State as women-led NGOs in Adamawa State.
Okay, what about the aspect of partnership? Is the government forthcoming in support of initiatives that's birthed by NGOs like yours?
Yeah, of course, yes. Because that's not how you as a NGO woman that you can implement any project in Adamawa State without partnering with the line ministry. Partnership with the line ministry, because they have the technical know-how in the ministry there. It's a mandate. It is mandatory that you partner. You must reach out to the line ministry. It could be protection. You are mainstreaming. It could be food security and livelihood. It could be education sector. It could be health sector. We partner with the line ministry to guide us so that the right thing can be done. And they also testify to see that what the NGOs are doing at Adamawa State is visible and in the right context.
All right. It's good that we have someone from the humanitarian sector speaking about this to us. A round of applause for her, please. Give the mic to the lone voice in the Adamawa State House of Assembly for Women. But she's a very vocal person. She is the majority leader in the Adamawa State House of Assembly. If she's not vocal, she will not occupy that position. Honorable Kate, let's hear from you. How much more needs to be done, whether in terms of law, legislation, policy, program, to improve women's active participation in this project that we are talking about? Because it's not just an Adamawa thing. It is a Nigerian thing. And the narrative must change. Just how much do we need to do?
Thank you, Mr. Aaron. Let me categorically say that the issue of vice chairwoman of Adamawa State, I didn't say vice chairman, oh. Did you hear me well? I said vice chairwoman.
A round of applause for her. Don't say chairman, they are vice chairwomen.
They are not vice chairman, they are vice chairwomen. That issue, or that is a policy of the government. And by the leave of the Speaker and the permission of His Excellency, we would like to sponsor a bill that will back up this policy to ensure that any government that comes into power will sustain that policy. Are we together? That is one. And I want to tell you that it is not as if we are going to remain as vice chairwoman. We are stepping ahead. By that bill that we are going to sponsor in the House of Assembly, a woman can one day become the chairwoman of that local government. And I want to tell you that His Excellency will ascend that bill into law because he has the passion of women at heart. He is a gender-friendly governor. And let me quickly chip in that at the moment that we are talking now, a bill is being sponsored in the National Assembly seeking for special seat for women in National Assembly. And that bill is being sponsored by the Deputy Senate President. He's not a woman, no. You can imagine the support we are receiving from our men. So it is not as if it's a woman thing. We are all in it. And I want to tell you that this time around, women are getting it right. and we must do it right. Whether you like it or not, we will do it, and we must attend that feat by God's grace. Okay. So, Mr. Aaron, we are going to legislate a lot of bills that will sustain these policies of government. It is one thing for the executive to bring out policies, and it's another thing to legislate it so that it can take the test of time without any hindrances or any breach of trust from any person. Thank you.
Are you categorically telling us that Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri is a lead champion as he for she? This is how the NGOs...
In fact, he's a champion for he for she. I said it. He's our gender-friendly governor. Okay. Because he is passionate about the cause of women and girls. Whenever the issue of women comes up, he takes it with all sense of responsibility. He doesn't look back. He doesn't wave to the left or to the right. He does it wholeheartedly. And that goes on to tell you that he's a he for she champion. Is that true, women? Mata Hakane? Nagode.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her, please. Honorable Kate, you can pass on the mic, but I have another question, but we are trying to look at time so that we can, exit this place on time. Dr. Jubril, I will still need you to speak within the corridor of young persons. The vision of the governor is moving beyond Adamawa State. It's carrying a bit of gravity, and it's coming in like with a force of...
Well, I think what you said is right. You mentioned rightly. I think this is the second time I'm attending a gathering like this. The first one was last time, still organized by Dr. Dogo, where you see a big hall like this, full capacity, and evidence that anytime you feel somebody who has the capacity and the ability to do that. So what I'm going to say, what is important is not just putting the youth there, but does that youth has the capacity, the ability, the wherewithal, the resources to deliver? Because it's only when he delivers that next time the people who he represented will not say, okay, this is a good representative for us, go, without any problem. Meaning, even if Governor Abafir is leaving tomorrow, for instance, the capacity, anytime you say, okay, we are going to give Dogo, for instance, a commissioner, people say yes, because he can deliver. So it's not about bringing people, somebody from a village, somebody from a tribe, somebody try and bring someone that has the capacity. When Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor, was making a statement about the vice chairwoman, as he rightly mentioned, she brought an issue that touched my mind, that there are chairwomen who are strong-headed chairwomen, meaning they are not ready to sit down and learn and be mentored. Now, a person like this has been identified, meaning she may not come tomorrow. So it's better for us to get people that have the ability, the willingness, and the wherewithal needed in order to bring people together. So it's a good idea. We initiate people, we initiate youth, we inculcate and instill in them good governance system, let them know transparency, let them understand accountability. It's only through that you can see that we are moving forward. The instance is why we are bringing youth, but because they lack this training, they lack this mentorship, they become and perform woefully, worse than the elites, worse than the elders that we think they are representing. So it's important anytime you are bringing somebody, bring somebody who has capacity, somebody that does not have any corrupt tendency, somebody that can champion the wave of movement of the executive governor of Adamawa State. Thank you.
You're not over yet. Let's come to your area of specialization, education. There is massive investment in education. There are one too many things I would mention, but key of them is how the governor is changing the narratives of our schools. taking into account the welfare of teachers and all that, the model schools that project that is currently ongoing across the 21 local government areas. Talk to me about how imperative this is in line with helping raise functional young people for a better tomorrow.
It is clearly stated that individuals cannot go beyond their level of knowledge. Country cannot go beyond its level of knowledge. The reason why we are backward in Nigeria is because our institutions, our educational institutions are not being taken care of by the federal government, by the state government and what have you. But the amount of serious commitment, particularly on finance. Let me talk about Adamawa University that I know very well. There are instances whereby they want to go on strike because of an academic allowance, no payment of this, responsibility allowance. When they met the governor one-on-one, governor was not happy with what is happening because he was not informed. Initially, he does not know that they are not being paid an academic allowance, responsibility for all long. But when he had that, he addressed that issue once and for all. And nobody is thinking on going on strike in that university. So also, if you come to our secondary school, our teachers are being paid on time. The only thing that we think we need to be done, or we need to do now, in order to ensure that the secondary school, particularly the teachers, Kate is here, who is also from legislature, please make sure that once somebody is being promoted, his promotion areas and other necessary things that would make him feel like, yes, I let me put more effort in making productivity is there. The reason why a lot of people that we know that have been promoted, but they are still earning the salary of the other promotion. Please, this is very important. If you do that one, it can boost their morale and they can go ahead extra mile in discharging their responsibilities.
It is worthy of note that the number of out-of-school children in Adamawa State has drastically dropped. Across northern Nigeria, no state is performing more than Adamawa State. It's also on record that Adamawa State performance in WAEC and NECO examination has really, really improved. We got up to the position of number 2 in Nigeria. So that is an impressive improvement in the education sector. Let me move over to the judiciary once again. History was made when the first female chief judge was sworn in Adamawa State. And not just Adamawa State, northern Nigeria. We have never had a woman occupy that prestigious position. But that happened under the reign of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. And we see a lot happening within the judiciary. There is a massive turnaround going on within the judiciary, whether it's in high court, area courts, magistrate court. All of these improvements are happening. But let's come to the corridor of women. A woman is a chief judge. How much does this serve as a booster for women who are within the Ministry of Justice, feeling challenged and pushed to get to the peak of their career? How is this serving as a stimulus within that, ministry?
Well, within the judiciary, we have a lot of young magistrates, female magistrates. And, it has given everybody a sense of belonging and a sense of hope that, yes, as you climb up, one day you're going to be there. Because, just like the transition was very smooth, there was no hinges, there was no opposition, there was really nothing. Because in the past, you find out that in judiciary, before you become a chief judge, sometimes in the past government, it has happened that we had acting CJs, but this time around, it was just a smooth transition. There was nothing. And it has given each of us a sense of hope that when our time comes, it's going to be so, because the governor has set a precedent and nothing can change it. Like in the judiciary now, at the helms of affairs, we have like three females. The CJ is a female, the chief registrar is a female, and this is the first time the first chief registrar of the High Court in Adamawa, the first. And then we have the secretary too, who is also a female. So you see, it has really given us, and a lot of states, when we go, they ask us, oh, how was it done? Because seriously and really, There are a lot of states that is not smooth like that. They are having issues, and they are not having it smoothly. But in Adamawa State, honestly, we have it so smoothly. And we are so encouraged, and we have that, our hope is built. And we know that judiciary is really for the common man. And there's no going back. And I believe that, yes, the equality and the rule of law is being upheld especially in Adamawa State Judiciary. There's no interference, and we don't feel as if, we are inferior. We are doing it to the best of our capacity. We are doing it, and we are delivering it well.
All right, we're wrapping it up now. But just begin with you. In 30 seconds, how much more would you do to support the vision of Nigeria first? Looking at what the governor is doing here in Adamawa State, change narrative into a bigger and much bigger scale, because we are hoping that this will go beyond Adamawa State. It shouldn't just remain within Adamawa State. How much would the judiciary commit to supporting the vision of the governor of Adamawa State?
It's for us to do what is right and to uphold the rule of law. Yes. And to really, to discharge our duties, with utmost sincerity, and to just uphold the rule of law. I think that's what the judiciary is going to do. And then maybe I just say this one is not part of what you asked me, but at least as women, we have to build our capacity. Because we have to support the governor. Because if he has given us a level playing field, we have to build on ourselves. We don't just sit down and just take it. Just like she rightly said, there must be retraining, and we have to aspire to improve in our knowledge and in our capacity. Yes.
We are going to use the classroom to inject ideas. Let them see what is right. Let them believe what is right, and debunk anything that is dangerous and is no good for our growth and development.
We are going to support His Excellency legislatively. All his policies, all his activities in Adamawa State will be supported legislatively by the grace of God. Thank you.
Yeah, my candid words to the women, teaming women in this hole and outside the hole. Canada, when you say you're doing well, you improve. There's a room for improvement. Like, there's nothing, you cannot grow, you cannot go further without developing yourself. And also, we should take away the mindset. I need machine. Amount with ability, with capacity. You understand? We should encourage ourselves that we have the capacity. We can do it. We can see the women are doing it. Why not you? Why not I? So we have to encourage ourselves that we can do it, even more than the men. Thank you.
Okay, for me, knowing fully that the governor has given an enabling environment for my brothers and sisters, young people in the state, we have a regional footprint and we have a voice, I can be proud to stand anywhere to say, come to Adamawa and invest. For that sustainability to go along, the Nigerian First project is about encouraging people to buy the things that we have produced locally and also to champion some businesses locally so that Nigeria will be fast, even at international level. So while I'm calling on that, I have a message. Sir, using your office to mobilize, you call us, but I want to tell you we have thousands of young people that have initiatives that other places are enjoying it, but the state did not tap from the initiative they have, right? Why can't you organize like an exhibition? I hope you're getting me. Nigerian First Project exhibition for young people and women. A lot of women are doing little skills. How is the government going to know that me like this, I am an expert in some certain area, I will not mention which you know. How is the governor going to know? While another governors of other states are calling me to do some work for them. But I have never contributed because that chance to showcase my talent has not been given to me. So what we want, as much as you build our capacity, we want to have an interaction with the government. Let's show him what we have. We agree he built our capacity, but let him listen to us. Let's show him what we have. There you are building a strong, concrete sustainability that even the governor, if he's not in the office, he will turn back and say, I'm proud of people like Dr. Elisha Bello. Thank you very much.
Well, panel members, I am most grateful. Thank you for the opinion shared. Thank you for, your thoughts and as well as suggestions that you've offered on this platform today. We are most grateful. I would like to urge you right now to rise and take your seat. We are most grateful. Thank you so very much. A round of applause for them, please. A round of applause. Okay, I am asked that the panel members should stand, Honorable Commissioner, as well as the convener of this event, to join them for a group photograph. Where is the keynote speaker? Please, you can join them. And would give the privilege to the first female GM of Adamawa State Television to join them also. This is Charity, please. You can join them. She is also the first female GM. A lot of first is happening in Adamawa State. Yeah. Okay, after this. Okay, after this, the panelists should stay behind and the convener. The panelists and the convener. Thank you so very much. Please, you can have your seat now. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have just one more item to wrap it up on the program today. Thank you once again for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. With that, I will quickly invite the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy to join me upstage as he makes his remarks today. Round of applause for him, please.
The Speaker of Assembly, ever represented by our dear mother, the legislator from my constituency, Demsa local government, who is also doubles as the majority leader, Adamawa State House of Assembly, the convener of this great auspicious occasion, the keynote speaker, our elder statesman in the state, the representative of the Chief Judge, other dignitaries here present, good afternoon. I am the evidence of being youth in the infantry-led administration. So at least if you cannot point out to somebody, point to me and say that I'm a youth. Whether we like it or not, there's a paradigm shift from the normal roundabout that we used to see to an interchange in the state. And whether we like it or not, there's a paradigm shift from a T-junction to a flyover, the example of total roundabout. And whether we like it or not, there's also a paradigm shift from the normal classroom to a model classroom in Adamawa State. So we can see the examples as many. I want to, as a matter of fact, the governor has declared this year as the year of service. And we are considering this as a topic in question. He called on the whole stakeholders of PDP to say that everybody should stop campaigning and there's no politicking. what we are focusing this year is service. And you can see the way governor is mobilizing all human and material resources, harnessing them to ensure that he put into infrastructure, he put it into education, he put it into businesses by building a model market in the state and empowering youth, young and vulnerables in the state with 50,000 naira and sending them to skills acquisition center so that they will also command their world. This is service for the people of Adamawa State. With this, I want to call on all those people that have gathered here to key in into this great vision of our leader, my boss, to serve the people of the state. Both young and old, please, let's key into this vision and serve selflessly. The Lord bless us all as we come. God bless.
A round of applause for the Honorable Commissioner, please. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. And with that, we have come to a close for today's event. And it's an event that is titled Year of Service and our role in the Nigeria First project. And this is brought to you by the Office of the Social Mobilization in support with other relevant ministries, agencies, and departments. Many thanks to the Honorable Commissioner who sat with us all through. Many thanks to the Executive Governor who was ably represented by the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State here today. Our thanks goes out also to the Chief of Staff, Government House, Adamawa State, Dr. Edgar Amos. Our thanks goes out also to the members of the Executive Cabinet. Thanks goes out to the legislature also. Our thanks goes out to the judiciary. Our thanks goes out to the religious leaders, both Christian and Muslims. Many thanks to the people of Adamawa State, and many thanks to the Youth O'Clock for being part of this occasion and also inaugurating your ESCOs here in Adamawa State. Many thanks to you, Engineer Seth. We are most grateful. And with that, we come to the close of this remarkable event. What more can we say but to say thank you? And I need to give ourselves let's give ourselves a round of applause, please. So thank you so very much for your time, and thanks to my interpreter here. The sign language, it's not an easy thing. Many thanks to you. Hosea Ezekiel is the signed language. Many thanks to you. So many thanks to every one of you. And as we go back home, I pray that God will bless us and replenish our strength. And as we break our fast, God will bless us immensely also. Ramadan Kareem. Let's take the national anthem as we depart. Thank you. Go home safe and have a blissful day.